Tell me something about Mum.
About Mum? Okay. Well, for one, she can fly.
Obviously.
Obviously.
I've got a coffee, I've got my feet up, and I'm going to show you how to make an award-winning film because I've done it. Let's go. Right, before I get into this too much, I'm going to show you the film that I made which won Best Drama, was nominated for Best Acting, came in the top 13 for Best Film. See what you think, and afterwards I'm going to explain why it worked and how you can make something to win a competition as well. Alright, enjoy.
Okay, they're a bit hot, so I'm just going to leave them here a minute.
What's that on your face?
I've got something on my face. What is it? Oh, how did that get there?
Did you drink my hot chocolate?
No. Okay, I might have had a sip. But it was Rupert's idea.
Naughty Rupert.
Yeah, he's very sorry. How can we make it up to you?
Tell me something about Mum.
About Mum? Okay. Well, for one, she can fly.
Obviously.
Obviously. She's very clever and very beautiful. In fact, she is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. And do you know what?
What?
She looks just like you. You have the same hair, the same nose.
Do you think she'll like me?
I spoke to her last night and she can't wait to see you. She's missed you while she's been away.
I miss her too.
Is that the time? I'd almost forgotten. Alice, I have a surprise for you. Are you ready? You have to be very quiet or you'll scare them away.
Okay. Daddy, nothing's happening.
Shh. Lie back.
Sorry, Mr. Barnes. The visiting hours are up in 5 minutes. I've made arrangements if you want to stay the night.
Oh, do you mind?
It's fine. Alice will need to stay in the bed, though, just in case something happens during the night.
10 more minutes? Thanks.
Oh, so emotional. Anyway, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes later on in this video so you can actually see the production side of it. But before we get to that, I'm going to talk you through the process leading up to the production that put all the right things in place so that could do really well. Let's start from the beginning. I'm going to talk specifically about Road Wheel because that's the one I won most recently. That's not actually true, but that's the one, the big one. First thing you want to do is research. Look at that festival, that competition, and see what's won the last couple of years. Now maybe each year is a very different bunch, and if that's the case, you should look at the judges who are going to be selecting and see what kind of things that they're into. But if there's been a common theme throughout, try and stick with that. For Road Wheel, what they've always liked is twists. They always like a twist at the end. Most often in comedy. You know, if you watch the winners from the last couple of years, it's normally a comedy with a twist. But I don't really want to make a comedy, but a twist I would do. So that's number one. Look at your festival, get the right genre, and think of that. Now, the second thing you need to do, come up with that story that is better than anything else you can think of. So if you can keep hold of any ideas as you work through your career, you never know when that's going to come in useful. I actually had the idea years ago, and it's kept in the back of my mind. So Fireflies, based in one location, 2 actors, with a twist. Perfect, just what I needed for this. Which brings me on to point number 3. There's no point thinking, oh, let's do this sci-fi set out here with 20 actors, yada yada, unless you can afford that, unless you can actually produce that. If you can produce it, great, I want to see it. But if you can't, don't make it. You want to make something that is within your means. 1,500 people who entered last year, and I did that with a crew of 3 people, 4 including me, although one of them wasn't even a filmmaker, he was just my mate helping me out. Cheers, Jamie. Think about an idea that you can achieve and make it look 10 times better than it is. Right, I don't know what's step 1 now. 4? Step number 4. Now you need to pull together your casting crew. If you can keep it all local and you're not paying people, well, full stop. If you're not paying people full stop, win. But if you're not paying people's expenses for travel from London or from Cardiff or wherever, just go to your uni and find other people. Find these online forums. Facebook's always got a filmmaking group for your town. Networking is one of the most important things that you will do. As for cast, this is a lot more difficult. So the little girl, Ivy, she is brilliant. My old colleague, her friend, her daughter. So that's one way you can do it, finding people who can connect quite easily. For Ben, the dad, I didn't have that role filled. I thought I did, but the guy pulled out the day before. So I called him up in the evening, and he was at a family party in Kent. And he said, sure, send the script over. He then stayed in his van overnight, drove down, stopped off at services to have a shower in the morning. You can't ask for that sort of commitment. And there it was. And he is so good, and he was so good with Ivy as well. So sometimes you will have to reach out to people that you don't know. Sell yourself, be honest. Don't say, oh, it's definitely going to win this, it's definitely going to win this, because you don't know that. But if you say, here's the idea, I believe it can do well, my crew believe it can do well, I've already got the location, I've got an actor aboard already, suddenly there's a lot more interest in there. Location, you'll be surprised what people will do. I just asked a local production company, thank you Treehouse Digital, if I can borrow their studio when they're not using it. Now, I had a second location for the twist at the end, but I knew it'd be hard to get anyone to agree to let me use that location unless they'd seen the first bit. So I made 90% of the film not knowing if I'd have the location for the twist at the end. When you write a script, it's really hard for, no offense, non-creatives to visualize it. If you can make it and show them, they're a lot more likely to be interested. Yes, it's a gamble, but for me it was a gamble worth taking, and it paid off. In fact, quite literally, I then got some paid work from the NHS to make recruitment films and other things for them. If you can offer your services back, if you can offer big exposure, it will come back in your favour. I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of how we actually filmed it, because you might find it quite interesting. Right, you ready, Ricky? Ready. I'm Aram, I'm the director, and we're making a short film called Fireflies, and we're making it for road reel. So the film follows a young girl and her father camping, but towards the end you kind of realise that they're camping in a slightly different situation to what you might expect. So we're shooting this in the studio. The studio very kindly lent to us by Treehouse Digital in Bournemouth. And yeah, so it's the first time shooting in a studio for myself and for the rest of the team, and just going to see what happens. It's been quite a challenge creating a tent. We tried a real tent, but it didn't really work, so we've gone out and bought material and we created an A-frame. And from that, we're going to try and make it look like the inside of the tent, before later on in the week we try and worry about making it the outside of the tent. So for this project, we're using Rode G3s. We've used them the last 3 years, and they're great mics. They cover every basis. It's the first time using them in the studio, but knowing how well they perform, we're sure they're going to do a great job here. We've got 2 set up, so one is on the boom pole going over the tent, and the other one's on a roaming camera.
Okay, well for one, she can fly,
Obviously.
So hello, sorry I've made a bit of a late appearance in the behind the scenes film. My name's Harrison, I've been the director of photography on this film. And I just wanted to give, just say fantastic kind of shoot we've had today, and set up yesterday. It's been really good. It's been pretty hot in the studio, but we've been powering through. And I just want to say how fantastic the Rode microphones and all the equipment that we've been using have been great. We've had the NTG3 and 2 of those, and we've also had an NTG1, and they've been fantastic at grabbing the different sounds around the tent we've been shooting in. What we actually did for a few of the shots is have directional mics and shotgun mics facing kind of crossing over to each actor, and that managed to make sure we took out a lot of echo out of the room, and there's some background noise outside down the street, and using those shotgun mics really enhanced the quality of the sound. We can pick up the kind of hushed tones that we're trying to get from the actors, which is really good. So now, as we said, we're in the packed down stage, so we're really looking forward to seeing the footage on the big screen and getting it edited up. Hope you enjoy the film.
And there you have it. That is how I made an award-winning film and how you can start to think about how you could make one too. Check out gripup.com/learn for more filmmaking tips, and otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow.